Hello everyone, Lakey here, and today I want to talk about the ammo conversions and whatnot available for the PDWs. There are definitely quite a few, and like my last ammo types video, I will have timestamps available if you want to see me talk about a specific one. So starting with the +P ammo type conversion, this is available for the MP5K, UMP45, MAC-10, MP5, Colt SMG 633, L2A3, MP5SD, MP10, M3A1, MP5/10, Chris Vector, Uzi, AUG A3 Para, MP40, X95 SMG, and the Tommy gun. Along with, it is also available on the Henry 4570, but as that is not a PDW, it will not be covered here. So +P increases penetration depth, muzzle velocity, suppression, and damage range, which are all pluses in exchange for more recoil. For the PDWs, which is a class that generally features guns with less recoil, or at least guns whose recoil is easily corrected with a loadout, the increase in instability isn't really that bad, and if you don't have a loadout already, it can be managed with one. But in general for this attachment, the benefits are rather minimal in the grand scheme of things, so it's not like a must-use ammo type in my opinion, and doesn't drastically affect play with the weapons. If you do want a bit more of an edge over your enemy for range with a PDW, this is the way to go, but like I said, kind of minimal benefits. Next up, the 45 Special is an ammo type that is available on the UMP45, MAC-10, M3A1, Chris Vector, and Tommy gun. This ammo type decreases base damage values along with muzzle velocity in exchange for less recoil, and I think that this is a fair trade. Generally speaking, PDWs are already not a weapon category that I would rate as being the best for ranged combat, so not having as much of an advantage at range with this ammo type is fine by me. Of the guns listed, I would definitely recommend that you try using the UMP45 or M3A1 if you were to use this ammo type. For these weapons, the shots to kill are left relatively the same, whereas for the other guns with the ability to use this ammo type, shots to kill are made worse by the damage reduction. Overall, I guess I have enjoyed using this ammo type, but just like +P, it doesn't feel like it affects the guns very drastically, so if you're using it or not, play with these weapons is not going to be very affected. Next up, 22LR, and this ammo type is available for both the Uzi and Chris Vector, and if you're not already aware, this is the same type of ammo that the ZIP-22 shoots with, so I'm sure you can imagine what it does to the guns. For the Uzi, you're granted a 50-round drum with this ammo type equipped. You also get more stability and a stronger headshot multiplier. The torso multiplier, damage range, and muzzle velocity are all decreased, along with base damage taking a pretty considerable hit. It is cut by more than half for the max damage stat, which for close range, which is where you're probably going to be using this ammo type, that's not very good. I would honestly recommend that you use the ZIP-22 with the Pro Mag instead of this, because the ZIP has a better fire rate, range, and better base minimum damage. Sure, it isn't in an auto fire rate, but you can click fast enough to make up for that. And then for the Chris Vector on the 22LR ammo type, it's a similar case, worse muzzle velocity, damage, and torso multiplier, but better head multiplier and stability. But with the Vector, your mag size is reduced to a measly 10 rounds, which you can only fire on semi. So this is just not really worth it in my opinion. The Vector has access to better options for ammo types, so I would recommend that you avoid 22LR for this gun. Next up, we have the 9mm conversion, and that is available for both the MAC-10 and Chris Vector. On both guns, the mag size is increased to a total of 32 and 33 rounds respectively. Damage is decreased, but fire rate and damage range are increased on both drop-offs for the MAC-10, but not the Chris Vector. Overall, I really enjoyed using this ammo type on both the Vector and the MAC-10, and would definitely recommend that you give it a try yourself. For the MAC-10, that bit of stability is nice, and for both guns, more rounds and a higher fire rate is a nice plus as well. With the Vector, it really felt like I had very little recoil at all, and couple that with a higher fire rate and more rounds to shoot through than you normally would have, that's a happy conversion for me. So now on to individual ammo types. We will begin with the MP40 conversion. This ammo type will rename your gun to the MP40 and give you 5 extra rounds, boosting your mag size to a total of 30 rounds. I liked using this ammo type, and while it doesn't hit as hard, the increased fire rate and mag size help make up for it. This is a good option, but low impact enough that you're still getting a similar playstyle with the MP40 compared to the MP45. That 2-shot headshot is indeed gone with this ammo type, so if you favor that aspect of the MP45, the 40 conversion is not for you. All in all, probably not the best ammo type for this gun, but fine nevertheless. Next up, the M3A1 can use the Type 37 conversion. This ammo type will change your gun's name to be the Type 37 and statistically will decrease base damage along with damage range. Muzzle velocity, however, is increased and you get a few more rounds in reserve ammo and more stability as well. I really don't find this ammo type all that useful as the gun itself is already fairly stable to begin with and the effects on damage range are minimal. The cut to base damage will still keep the same shots to kill, but with the multipliers that the gun has, I really advise taking advantage of the base damage without the Type 37 conversion. I wouldn't recommend this ammo type despite it being somewhat marginal differences in what it has, but with the multipliers that you have for the base damage, which is pretty high for a PDW, you can deal some pretty good damage even if it's the same shots to kill. Now onto the MP5 out of 10. This gun can use the MP5 out of 40 conversion, which will change the gun's name to that. With this ammo type, base damage and muzzle velocity are decreased while stability is increased. Can't really say that I find this ammo type to be all that useful. With a proper loadout, the gun already doesn't have that much recoil to begin with, so getting more stability for this ammo type doesn't mean all that much to me, so for decreased range and muzzle velocity, I don't see it as all that worth it, but the changes are minimal. Next up, the Uzi can get a 45 conversion. Don't get confused though, this is not the same as the 45 special ammo conversion that is available on other guns. The 45 conversion on the Uzi increases base damage and mag size while decreasing the fire rate, muzzle velocity, and minimum damage drop off. More damage and a few more rounds is nice, but the fire rate reduction can definitely be felt. The Uzi didn't have a very strong fire rate to begin with compared to other options in the category, so I wasn't the biggest fan of this ammo type. For a similar fire rate, I think that the L2A3 or MC51SD are better options. Finally, to wrap up the conversions, we are brought to the M1919 conversion for the Tommy gun. This conversion is kinda wacky and definitely is pretty extreme of a conversion. It's not really a middle ground kind of thing, it just turns your gun on its head. The fire rate is increased to 1500, which is pretty good, but most notably, since this is an attachment that is available on the other category, you cannot use something like a 50 round drum or a 30 round mag for the Tommy gun, so you are stuck with that mag size of 20. The gun is also made to be more unstable with this conversion. The fire rate increases more than double the base fire rate, but you blast through a mag so quick and are met with a reload time that is somewhat lengthy compared to other PDWs, just kind of average. It's nothing very quick. So while you can absolutely bean people in the face with this conversion, I much prefer to use something like the 50 round drum for the Tommy gun, as this conversion takes up a spot in the other categories I've mentioned, rather than an ammo category like other ammo types. It's not that this is a bad conversion, but it is so, I guess, unstable and quick in the sense that you need to play more conservatively in order to suit the playstyle for this better, and I don't know, I just didn't really see the worth of it compared to using something like the 50 round drum. So that is all of the ammo conversions for you, along with my thoughts on them. I would definitely be curious to get your thoughts on them, as some seem to be more popular than others, so be sure to let me know in the comments. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.